And again, we are with R.J. Ron Joseph. That's a much younger R.J. on the left. And who is that gentleman on the right?
Very, very, very famous guy. It was my first TV show in 1962, a talk show. And Dick Clark was my guest because he said I would never get my radio or TV show on the air when I was on his show, American Bandstand. And I wound up getting my talk show on and then having a dance show of my own, just like Dick.
Now, at this time, was Dick still doing the show in Philadelphia, or had he moved out west?
Absolutely, yes.
He was still doing the show at 46th and Market?
That's correct.
So the show he is appearing on, your show was on channel what?
Channel 17, a local UHF.
And what we're looking at is a photograph taken right off the TV.
That is correct.
Which you can see some of the you can see some of the dots there. So channel 17 was, correct me if I'm wrong, Philadelphia's first commercial UHF.
That is correct.
Right.
The other one was a education station.
And this was this a religious channel, or was it?
It was owned by a religious group called the Young People's Church of the Air.
And the Percy Crawford broadcasting is actually still around, I believe.
Yeah, in various cities and radio, that's all.
And then also on this same show that you had, there's another screenshot here.
Of a great, great voice. I admired as a child. Joe Niagara, a great announcer, DJ for years in Philadelphia.
And I guess at this point he was on, was it Wibbage at this point? Or had he moved on?
Yes, he was on Wibbage.
He was still on Wibbage at this point. He was on your show there on Channel 17.
Yep.
And then if we go a little bit to the right, this is a different, now we're going way ahead in
this
years.
Is Channel 25, a news station that came on the air and carried our show in rerun in Philadelphia.
And up here I have a couple of newspaper ads for
my dance show with the young kids, teenage dance show that I had, just like American Bandstand.
Now this says 8 to 11 p.m. Now the broadcast didn't run that long, right?
Yeah.
That was that for an appearance, I'm guessing, right?
Yes. The newspaper articles with the kids on the Christmas tree. To your right. There you go.
Okay. Christmas Eve and New Year's special at midnight.
Yes.
On TV 29.
That is correct. Philadelphia.
Taft Broadcasting at the time.
And if you go down further, you'll see that one of the kids from the show, I chose to submit him to Gemini, the Twin Stars, Gene Patrick. And it was a $3 million teenage movie that we made in Europe. And it played in various cities.
And this was for a screening, I guess, in Ballackinwood?
Screening was at the Balla Theater in suburban Philadelphia, Ballackinwood.
Now, this RJ's Nostalgia Dance Party, I remember, this was much later. This was a collection of some of the older shows, right?
That played in various cities. I don't know if you can see it there, yeah. Played in Philadelphia, New York, Hollywood, Chicago, and Miami. We were all over. And there's the Channel 7 billboard that we purchased in Philadelphia when new Philadelphia free TV. Didn't need cable to get us.
I think it's important to remember, too, in the 1990s, there were still many people in this area who did not have cable. And
antennas.
They were still using the
bow
antennas.
Ties, the indoor aerials, as you see it there on our ad.
This is Gene Patrick again, or this is the same one we saw
only different color.
Over there, right? And of course, there's RJ and
my
Robin.
lovely wife.
Yes.
At our wedding. And then you go to your left, you'll see the beautiful transmitters that put me on in California. The Sutro Tower in the background and our transmitters 500 feet above San Francisco. And I was on every day out there. On Channel 26, Channel 20, chemo. A lot of fun. Driving that mountain every day and doing my show up there.
This here is another ad for Channel 7, I guess.
And we broadcast off the top of the Mellon building in Philadelphia, which was centrally located in the predominance of population. But Channel 7 had all the old reruns of the good days where the good shows have gone. That was our logo. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It was run like a real commercial station.
And it was a commercial license.
Yeah. But today they run nothing but infomercials on these stations.
Now this is another print ad.
Yeah, as RJ changed it. My time slot was changed to a better time slot. Has he changed? Yeah, from 12 noon to 4:30 They put me right next to Soul Train. See if I could go against them, and I did a good job.
Oh, so you were on opposite.
Opposite, yeah.
Don Cornelius.
Yeah, Don Cornelius. Great man who's passed away also, unfortunately.
Now, this is a very interesting sign here and a few pictures. RJ's Hollywood Cafe. This was on South Street, right?
South Street, the center of the activity of young people in Philadelphia, yeah. It was a nice place.
And where on South was the cafe?
4th and South, heart of Philadelphia's young adult market down there. And to your left here, you'll see a picture of me on the top of the Mellon building. Oh, no, that's
Down here.
And this is the cities that the show was on. That was the Mellon building. And then you go to the map of all the city stations that carried our program. Right here. Great shot. If you can pull back, you'll see. We always had about 12 to 20 stations carrying us around the country. They were all UHFs. They were all barter deals, meaning that you didn't have to buy the time. They ran us and they split the revenue, or we got free publicity. There's Dick Clark showing my baby picture along with his baby picture. What memories.
And that's a famous picture because that is one we've seen many times. You and Dick Clark, and that's a picture of you holding a baby picture of yourself.
Myself, and he's holding one also of himself, showing it.
And I guess that was the graphic, the movie poster, I guess.
Movie poster, billboard on Sunset Boulevard of Gemini, the Twin Stars. That kid came off my show, and we submitted him, and he was chosen as the lead act, or actor. And it brought me across the country, as well as to all over Europe. 4 or 5 of the big countries in Europe. Greece, Switzerland, believe it or not, the islands of Greece, Mykonos. We went everywhere to do that movie. It was a very interesting movie, a very nice part of my life that I'll never forget.